Best trading tips. Long-term trading success unlocked. You will probably one day realize that this is the most important trading concept you will ever hear. Because without this, you will fail in trading. Everyone wants to make good money trading. And there's only one magical ingredient that we discovered after working directly with over 10,000 student traders, putting 400 people through boot camps in just the last half year, that completely changed the game. The most important ingredient in trading is not your strategy. Although yes, you do need a good proven strategy. It's not your indicators, it's not your entries. It centers around a word that gets thrown around all the time. It's a go-to word. It's often used as an excuse. It's something people blame, and honestly, it's a word that can be very annoying to hear. That word is discipline, and don't run away, because there's an ingredient in discipline that has been screwing you over. There is a catch to it that almost nobody explains, and once you understand it, it will completely change how you view trading and how you view yourself. And believe me, we only hit this discovery after putting our 400th person through a boot camp to try to get them to stop going off the rails, and we found it. First of all, discipline has a negative connotation. You hear the word, it's often used in the context of punishment. I'm gonna discipline that person, meaning they did something wrong and now they're gonna be punished. Or when we say, I need more discipline, what we're really saying is, I'm weak, I can't control myself, I'm flawed. So the word feels heavy. It feels restrictive. It feels like something that hurts. But at the same time, we hear that the best athletes have discipline. The best traders have discipline. Champions have discipline. Your dreams require this pain called discipline. So now the word creates this strange effect where either you feel bad about yourself or you feel like success requires constant struggle and denial. Like life has to be painful and uncomfortable. And that's why people resist it. But the problem is not just discipline. That's too general. The problem is that people do not actually understand what discipline is or how it works. So let's define it properly, and then I will tell you the magical missing ingredient that brings it all together. Discipline is following a set of rules that you created for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. That's it. But here's the most important part, the part that changes everything. Discipline requires rules, and not vague rules, precise rules. I'm gonna say that again because this is everything. Discipline requires precise rules. Without precise rules, discipline is impossible. Without precise rules, what people call a lack of discipline is almost guaranteed. And this is the real issue. The enemy is not greed. The enemy is not laziness. The enemy is not your emotions. The enemy is vagueness. Vagueness is what destroys traders. Precision is what empowers them. And here's why. Discipline only exists in moments of temptation. It doesn't exist when things are easy. It exists when something inside of you wants to do something else. Imagine you decide you're going to go sugar-free for a month. You're doing great. Then you're out on a date. Everything feels amazing. You've had a great meal, great conversation. You feel carefree. You're enjoying life. And your date orders a creme brulee cheesecake. They take a bite and say it's the best thing they've ever had, which wouldn't be a lie. Have you ever tried creme brulee cheesecake? And now you just want a small bite, just a little nibble. You want to live a little. You want to enjoy the moment. That moment right there is where discipline exists. Not in the plan, not in the idea, in that moment. And discipline would be declining that bite. And when people hear that, they think that sounds like a terrible life, like you're denying yourself pleasure, like you're restricted, like discipline makes life worse. And it gets even worse when you follow discipline and don't get the result you want. You avoid sugar for a month trying to lose belly fat, then you look in the mirror and nothing changed. Now it feels like you suffered for nothing. And what do people do? They rebel. They binge. They go eat everything they avoided, and then they feel worse. And now they hate discipline even more. And the same phenomenon applies to trading, to fitness, to saving money, to everything. Now take it even further. Imagine a drug addict, addicted to something like heroin. They're alone in a room, no one's watching, no one will find out. All the paraphernalia is right there in front of them. Their desire is extremely high. It feels almost like life or death. Discipline is the ability to not do it anyway. That is the real moment, when temptation is extremely high and immediate consequences are extremely low, and you still follow your rules. That is discipline, and here's the key connection. That only works if the rules are clearly defined. If the rules are vague, discipline cannot exist. And this is where most people fail. They don't fail because they lack discipline, they fail largely because their rules are vague. They say things like, don't be greedy, be patient, be disciplined. Those are not rules, those are vague ideas that require judgment in the moment. And the moment is exactly where people are weakest. Let me give you a clear example. A trader says, my rule is don't be greedy. Be happy with some profit. A very lame rule that will guarantee failure and self-loathing. Here's how. They make a trade. Make 85 bucks, they think, I wanna make 300 today. That's what I intended, so I'm gonna keep going. They keep trading, they lose. Keep trading, now they're down $500, and they end the day saying, I was greedy, I lacked discipline, terrible. No, that's not what happened. What happened is they had no precise rule to follow. They expected themselves to make a perfect decision in the moment of temptation, emotion, and pressure. That is unrealistic. That is not discipline, that's guessing under pressure. I compare that to a trader with precise rules. My first trade, I will aim to make $100 with a $100 stop loss. If I lose, I take one more trade, risking $100 again, and if I lose again, I stop at minus 200 for the day. If I win, and I'm at plus 100, I will only risk $40 of that profit. If I lose the $40 trade, I will walk away with a profit of $60. If I win, I will continue risking 40% of my profits until I have one loss, and then I end off. Every scenario is mapped out. Every action is predetermined. No guessing, no interpretation. Now discipline becomes possible. Now, if that trader breaks those rules, then yes, that is a lack of discipline. But if the rules were vague to begin with, discipline never had a chance. And this applies to everything. In fitness, if your rule is don't be lazy, what does that even mean? You go to the gym, you do your workout and end off and later realize you could have pushed harder, and then you say that you were lazy? No, you didn't have a rule. The real rule is, I will do 3 sets of bench press to failure, then 3 sets of leg press, then stretching. Now it's defined. Now discipline is possible because now there is something to follow. This is the key idea. Discipline is not about willpower in the moment. Discipline is about removing decision-making in the moment, because the moment is where you are weakest. You have impulses, desires, emotions, fears, and frustrations, and to expect yourself to suddenly become perfectly rational and see the big picture in that moment is unrealistic. And when you fail, you label yourself. You say, I'm greedy, I'm lazy, I lack discipline. That's not only incorrect, it's harmful, because now you're reinforcing a negative identity, and that can actually make the behavior worse instead of better. Then you have lack of self-trust. Then you start binging. So let's bring it back to trading. A trader finds a strategy, it works, they start making money, they're up $200, they feel good, they feel like they're on fire, they want more, they risk the 200, they lose, now they're back at 0, now they want it back, so they trade again in frustration, now they're in the red, now they're aggravated, then desperate, then emotional, then reckless. They are no longer seeing the market clearly, they are reacting, not executing. This is where accounts get destroyed, not because the strategy failed, but because there was no precise rules and therefore no real discipline. And here's the dangerous part. Sometimes chasing in this desperate way works. Sometimes they make it back. And that reinforces the bad behavior until one day it doesn't. And that one day wipes out everything. Weeks of profits, sometimes the entire account. So what is discipline really? It's having and following precise rules when temptation is high and when there are no immediate consequences for breaking them. No one is watching you. No one is going to punish you, but you still follow the rules. That is discipline. And it only works if the rules are clearly defined. So what do? You write down everything. Every scenario, every action. If this happens, I do this. If this happens, I do that. If that happens, I stop. You create a system where there's always a known next step. No guessing, no improvising, and then your job becomes simple. Follow the rules. That's it. And here's the mind shift that changes everything. Stop rewarding yourself for profits. Start rewarding yourself for following the rules. Because profits are inconsistent, but following your rules is something you can control every single day. You can even treat it like a test. I will follow my rules perfectly for 30 days with 0 violations, then reward yourself for doing that. Then do it again. That's how you build discipline. It's a skill, it's a muscle, it's something you train. And I'm telling you right now, I don't care how good your strategy is, I don't care how perfect your system is, if your rules are vague, discipline is impossible. And if discipline is impossible, consistency is impossible. But if your rules are precise and you follow them, you can turn almost any edge into consistent results. So don't misunderstand discipline. It's not punishment. It's not just suffering. It's not just denial. It's clarity. It is structure. It is knowing exactly what to do and doing it. The enemy of discipline is not greed. It is not emotion. It is vagueness. Precision is the key. If you're sitting here right now without an exact plan for how much to risk, when to stop, and what to do in every scenario, you are setting yourself up to fail. Write the rules, follow the rules, reward yourself for following the rules, and everything changes. I even suggest getting an accountability partner or join a club to pat you on the back every time you stuck with the plan. If you got value from this, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to learn our strategy for non-traders and beginners to get handheld into trading and how we use small amounts of money to access large funded accounts, check out the link in the description for a web class where you can get your questions answered in real time, if it's still available. Grab a spot. I'll see you there.